Nigerians are seeking impactful support for the authorities to improve their living conditions. They say times are hard and would like to see interventions that will indeed bring about a desired change. Lara Falayo reports.
Koroduma, a local community within the Nigerian capital Abuja. The site here does not reflect the sophistication characteristic of the city center. The average resident is involved in some kind of small business or the other to survive. This woman, for example, relies on the small income that comes from her trade. The cost of raw materials for my kunu production has become so expensive, and I'm just managing to keep up with the business and still survive. It's not easy. This man also has a similar story to tell.
Things have become so expensive and it's so difficult for us to survive. It's difficult keeping up with business.
The National Bureau of Statistics Living Standard Survey, which is a basis for measuring poverty and the country's living standards, shows 40% of the population, representing 83 million people, live below the poverty line. One of the latest solutions offered by the authorities to fight poverty is the establishment of a National Council on Poverty Reduction. It is to accelerate economic growth and lift 100 million people out of poverty by the year 2030.
In my view, I don't think that is necessary, for now, because I think there's a difference between poverty reduction and poverty alleviation. Okay? If the government wants to reduce poverty or wants to have a plan to lift people out of poverty, 100 million people out of poverty, for example, what the government needs to do is to focus on its economic blueprint.
Government is now being advised to re-strategize if it wants to achieve needed results.
The blueprint that the government had, which was the Economic Recovery and Growth Plan, lapsed in December 2020. Now the government has a new one which is called the Economic Sustainability Plan, which of course came in the wake of the pandemic. That one is still on, that one is still ongoing. If you look at that plan itself, it has programs for agriculture, it has for housing, okay, it has for power. So it is for the government to focus on those.
In agreement with the analyst perspective, these Nigerians who grapple daily with poverty are eager to see policies and programs that will affect their lives in real terms.
If the government can come to our rescue and help, create a minimum of, even though it's 5,000 naira, 10,000 naira, or 15,000 naira, any amount the government feeds, they can help the little masses or the Nigerians, ordinary Nigerians, to survive. If they can do it in a way that it will be transparent, it's something that will help people.
Let them help and help us. Poor people are very, very, very suffering. We are suffering for that. Nothing, no food, nothing. As you can see now, we are just managing.
Nigeria is faced with a booming population problem and is expected to become one of the world's top 3 countries with the largest population by the year 2050. The COVID-19 pandemic already pushed unemployment to a 13-year high of 33.3%, worsening an already bad poverty situation. Poverty and unemployment are issues of grave concern in Nigeria, with different governments trying to resolve them without much success. Increased MSME financing, investments in infrastructure and education, as well as deepening the fight against corruption, are some strategies economic watchers feel could help resolve these issues once and for all. Lara Falayo, TBC News, Abuja.